welcome all to another edition of the Reef podcast brought to you by Reef Productions. I'm your host, Luis IPA, joined by my good old buddy here, Mr. Kratos himself. How you doing, bud?
How you doing, Sharky?
Doing well. This is actually the first episode that we're actually going to be under the Reef Productions brand. How awesome it is that we're actually a production company here now.
I know, man. All the stuff we've been working towards, it's slowly coming together.
Absolutely. I want to shout out everybody that actually came out to actually see this guy. I'm going to let my co-host here introduce him because he wanted so bad for this interview. So my good friend, take the mic.
All right. So our guest today is going to be the nice, wonderful, Babish wannabe, the one, the only Sneaky Viper, Enforced Viper.
So happy to see this motherfucker here, man.
Now, if only he can remember to unmute his mic.
Oh yeah, man.
Man, so happy to finally have this dude here. I mean, I know he's been waiting, but finally he got his podcast interview.
Yeah.
So, you mind giving a brief little introduction about yourself to the new people that don't know about you?
I am not very good with introductions. For anyone that doesn't know me, I am the Enforcement Viper, and what I base my channel and my stuff off of is I'm trying to use this platform to kind of make friendships and bring people together. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So,
there's a time in life where I just felt like I was alone. And so, over the years, Twitch has just kind of helped me find a lot of people who are there and listening. And it's just kind of nice to be able to just have a bunch of people to hang out with and laugh and all that, man. I love it.
dude, I mean, the fact that you've been knowing both of us like for so long, it's a blessing, dude. And we're really happy to have you, not only as a friend, but as a brother, man. We're happy here.
Amen.
All right. So I'm going to start with the question right away, right off the bat. What came up? What came up with the name Enforced Viper? Like, what was the main reason behind it?
So I had, it was right when I got my PlayStation 4, I had a buddy of mine that I've known for almost 20 years, had started this Enforced gaming group, and he had got a hold of a bunch of his friends around him, some of his closest friends, and he had asked, hey, do you guys want to partake in this and start a gaming group for COD and Rainbow Six? And I said, yeah. And I was like, what can I keep my name the way it is? Because before I had Enforced Viper, when I had PlayStation 3, it was the Viper X3D. And, to go kind of in the background of that, when I try to put a name out there that is more professional, not just some name that people are going to laugh at. I have done that in Call of Duty, but we won't talk about that.
No.
But I asked him if I could just keep the Viper part in it, and he's like, yeah, sure. And, that just seems fitting to me, and I like it, and that's it.
And how long you been actually having that name, like the Enforced Viper brand?
Man, it's been 12 years.
12
I've
years?
had Viper in my name for 12 years. When I started on PlayStation 3, I had Viper in my name, and it's been in my name ever since.
That's awesome, though. Like, when you actually find a name that you're actually like, you know what, this is my brand, this is what I decided with, and 10 plus years to have it, that's a huge milestone, and we want to congratulate you on that.
And really, all I've done over the years is just upgrade it. It's just I just upgraded it. Make it kind of, this time instead of the past.
And the reason why you went with Viper was because you basically are a fan of snakes, or is it like just because
I like snakes, man. They are very delicate creatures. Yeah, they're extremely dangerous, and when you go to a zoo and you get to actually see them, and if you get bit by that snake, your life is on the line. Yeah, man, I like them.
They may be ferocious. They may be ferocious, but they always try to watch their territories. That's all they're trying to do.
That's all it is, man.
Absolutely. All right. Nightmare here has a question for you. So, Nightmare, take the mic.
up on your guys? There we go. Sorry, my mic has been like coming loose. The cord of it. I need to get a new cord. So, question I have for you: what made you want to start Twitch streaming?
Oh, well, that's a funny story. When I first got my PlayStation 4, I realized that there was a share button on a controller, and then I didn't even know what it did, but I don't even know, dude. That's a tough one. Cause I'm not like you or Louie. I'm not trying to do this to make a living. This is just something I'm trying to do to make a family, to have a family on a platform other than the family that I have. I don't know, man. That's part. I'm trying to answer it to the best of my knowledge, and I'm actually struggling with it.
Gotcha. All right. So basically, like you actually have met so many people around like the years that you've been on, like not only on Twitch, but I mean like online.
Oh yeah.
What is actually the go-to game that you can actually pick up and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play this, like like I can play this like 7 days a week if I could, like like one game that you're super...
Diablo 4.
Really? So I bet like basically like you're excited for a new expansion that just got announced today on Xbox conference or whatever.
I already pre-ordered it.
Oh my lord, look at this guy. This guy has the passion for Diablo. So if you had to choose between Diablo and I'm not saying the recent Call of Duty, but I'm saying Call of Duty, like your favorite Call of Duty of all time, and Diablo, what would it be?
I would go to Diablo just because I don't rage at that as much, and Call of Duty I get angry for no reason whatsoever, and it's affecting the people around me, and I don't like that. And I've really been trying to work on the raging. I'm just trying to just enjoy the game.
But that is what makes you though, Viper. That's what makes you
I know,
Viper.
But if that's one thing that I look at is my Viper rage, so people like to call it, is a form of entertainment. But deep inside, I know that on two hands, that could be pushing people away too. Not everyone likes that. And so when I play Diablo, I enjoy it. It allows me to go into a different world, and I love it.
So you're saying that
I don't have to yell at it.
So you're saying Diablo is more like, for me, The Sims. Is that what you're trying to say? Like, it's like your go-to relaxing.
When you need to just get away and you need to let your mind just go, that's my go-to.
Gotcha. All right. What you got, Nightmare?
Okay, so you mentioned Diablo 4 being the game you could pick up, play anytime. What was your first Diablo game you've played?
This one.
Oh, really?
Oh, man!
See, now, I was going to pre-order it, but I didn't because I had just bought Elden Ring, and that one was tough. I never even finished it. I deleted it and never even finished it. And then that's when I went to Diablo. But at first, I wasn't going to go to Diablo right away just because I had Elden Ring and I wanted to give it a fair chance.
Gotcha. All right. So we actually been hearing a lot, like from your gameplay and everything, like from you playing with friends and everything. They have a nickname for you. Like it's something along the lines in Call of Duty. Like they call you, I guess, the new Chris Kyle. Because, I mean, you have like a skill with snipers in a couple of games.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Okay, if you had to choose, I mean, I know you're a big Call of Duty fan. So if you had to choose between the Barrett 50 cal and a DMR, what would you be? What would it be?
AMR.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I guess it just depends. Like with the AMR, I could stand up, lay down, whatever. But, when it comes to a 50 cal with the Barrett, the Barrett always operated better while you were prone.
Gotcha. And what is your go-to meal? Like for if you actually had to choose between any meals out there that you could eat every day consistently, like without having to change food, and you're like, I can eat this every single day if I could, what would it be?
Deer meat.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So basically, that's a hobby that you have, correct? Like you have you basically you go hunting. Like, now, is it a sport? Like, do you treat it as a sport, or is it like a Like how do you
I look at it as more of a way of living. I like to live off the land. That's what I feel like I'm doing. It puts food in my freezer. It feeds my family. And, I did get, 2 years ago, I did get a good one that's on the wall, but I'm not going for the rack or anything. I'm just trying to put food in the freezer. If we get a rough winter and we're not able to get to the store, I have stuff in my freezer that I can use to put together to make something.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So we see that you've been sipping on something. If you don't mind us asking, what is that?
A chocolate cake from Walters.
Ooh, nothing wrong with a chocolate shake, especially on a hot day, dude. You need something cold to relax you, man. So
well, we went putt golfing right before that.
Oh my lord. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what made you want to get into gaming? Like, what was like back when you started, like, when you were young and everything, like, were you always into gaming, or did somebody introduce you to it? That's the question.
I've been gaming since I was like 3 or 4 years old. And I remember gaming on the first ever Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That was your very first console. And do you remember like your first game?
Super Mario.
Ooh, man, you and this guy will get along, because my goodness, this guy gives me hell when we play Super Mario. I'm telling you this right now.
I mean, I've had Super Nintendos, I've had the NES, the 64, the Sega, all the PlayStations, the Xboxes, the Wii's, all the Ataris.
So you're a hardcore gamer from the beginning till the end, basically.
Pretty much.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Okay, I gotta ask this question. You said you've had all the Nintendos. What about the Virtual Boy?
Not that one.
Ooh.
For shame.
You gotta understand too, it's hard to remember some of that stuff too, because that was actually my mom's stuff. That she used to play all that. But then I got addicted to it.
So she's the one that basically had that influence on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like she basically said,
I don't know why, dude. I just love it.
Sometimes, I mean, it just takes that, dude. Sometimes it takes one parent to be like, "Hey, try this out," and then like literally you love it, and you're like, "I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep playing this." And now I know you're still a gamer right now, but when you we believe like you have a family and everything. But I mean, do you plan on passing down like gaming to like the future generation, or do you plan like waiting a little longer?
I don't see these guys doing that. I'm trying to steer them away from that. I have not done much with my life. Mm-hmm. They're still young. I want them to go out and have a life. Mm-hmm. I mean, gaming's nice. Gaming's nice. They like to play Fall Guys, and I let them play Fall Guys every now and again.
Gotcha. So
they love Fall Guys, man.
Mm-hmm. So I know you mentioned like that you basically are doing live streaming because I mean it's a getaway to like relax and have fun, mm-hmm. meet people and everything like that. But do you have a personal goal, like if you could actually do it like like consistently and actually follow it like passionately, what is one goal that Viper wants to do with streaming? Like what is one thing that you're like, okay, I know you said like that you like helping others, you like doing this, which we actually seen like when we see you like come by people's streams. What is one main goal that Viper wants to achieve with streaming overall?
Man, that's a tough one. Man, I don't know about that one. That was difficult.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, you started with a console, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Like you started with a console with no camera, no nothing, and now we basically see you now with like a camera. We see you with a PlayStation 5. We can see your reactions when you actually play your games now, which is I always want to see your reactions. Whenever I watch your streams, I always want to see like what was Viper's reactions to like raging on Call of Duty. Like I want to see that live reaction of that, because that's what makes you. And man, I mean, ever since I met you, like thanks to Anime 316, dude, you basically became like a brother to me. Because I mean, you were just too funny. You were like you're a great person. You have that person. You're sneaky, but I'm saying like you have that golden personality in you, and the fact that you always want people to treat you the way you want to be treated, that's like the best mentality to have. Because I mean, if you treat somebody with respect, you basically kind of want it back, because I mean you basically showing it. And if those people don't show you, then basically that's when you basically say, you know what, it's not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what you got now, Nightmare? I see you thinking, like brainstorming and everything.
Okay, so with all the consoles you played through, Nintendo, PlayStation, I would hope there's an Xbox somewhere in there, but probably not. No,
Yeah. I had Xbox.
Oh, you did? Okay. What would you say is probably the best game you've seen made for any console?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of games out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for my own personal preferences, if we're going like back in the day, like 10, 15, 20 years ago, Kirby and Donkey Kong for the 64 was like two of my favorites.
Dude, nothing wrong with freaking Donkey Kong franchise.
I liked all the Marios. Didn't matter what console Mario was on. Mario was always fun.
Mario is always one that you can actually replay so many times and you can never get tired of it, to be honest with you. Right. So
I was a huge fan of Donkey Kong on the 64. Man, that thing, that was an adventure.
I started Donkey Kong back in the Super Nintendo, and ever since I did, my guy, that game like literally changed everything. That soundtrack that Rareware made, I was just hooked into it. But I mean, when I really, really got hooked into a game was when I got introduced to The Sims, and ever since then they created a monster.
I had one problem with my Nintendo 64 though. I kept breaking the controller.
Oh, what?
Now, did you have like the Mad Cat style controller, or did you get one of the very rare controllers they had that had the like metal bowl in for the analog stick?
No, this is just the regular. These are the originals.
Now,
I've never.
Did you ever get Mario Party on the 64?
No, I didn't. I had a very small selection of games. It was hard to get games back then for us. I played a lot of wrestling.
Oh, okay. So like WWF, Raw, like things like that.
Oh, hold on. Now, were you playing the WWF games or the WCW games?
I had WWF and I had two WCW and I had two WWF.
So here's the follow-up question to that, because I mean I actually was planning this for a while. I'd like to ask you before Nightmare asked the WWF and WCW. So if you could meet any wrestler from the beginning, like from when you started watching till today, even if I know that some of them have passed on, but I mean, if you could meet one of them to shake their hand right now and be like, it's an honor to meet you, who would it be?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What? I'm not surprised. I mean, you always like to break. You always love to break glass. That's all I gotta say. You just love to break glass.
I want to clarify. Back in 2011, we had a private wrestling event come to Kalamazoo, and I actually got to shake the hand of Paul White, the Big Show. Wow. And his hand, my hands are massive, and his hands hid mine.
Oh, dude, his hands are pretty much like like if I put my hand compared to a lot of people, they'll be like, my goodness, like you have baby hands, and I'll be like,
and if he was like up here on me standing up. I mean, I had to look up to the man.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with me. Like if I actually see somebody 6 foot or taller, I have to be like, hey, what's up? Like literally, like just look up, because I'm a shorty. But I mean, dude, some people like make fun of my height and everything like that. But I'm like, you know what? You may make fun of my height, but you can't have my heart. Because that's all that matters. I mean, I don't care if I'm short. I don't care if I'm tall.
I have a heart of gold, and I know it, and I know how to use it.
Exactly. So, let's see. What I was gonna. Oh, if you could actually go back to any era of music, where would it be?
It'd be like the 80s.
80s.
I like listening to rock and rolls from the 80s, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, Quiet Riot and Scorpions. There was just a lot of music back in the late 70s and the 80s and the late 80s that I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the music of today, dude.
So, since you like 80s, were you a fan of, I don't know if you played this game, Grand Theft Auto Vice City?
I've played it a little bit on PlayStation 2.
Okay. Because, I mean, that game literally had so many 80s soundtracks that, dude, instead of playing the freaking missions, I would just cruise around the city just listening to every single radio station in that damn game because so much freaking 80s on that. And I see Nightmare here. He's like, oh, okay, I got a question coming up, but he's talking too much, so I'll let him have a couple minutes. So here you go.
All right, Viper. So we've talked about all the games, we've talked about all the music. What is something you would like to see to kind of incorporate music and gaming together, different than what's already been out there with like DJ Hero, Guitar Hero, stuff like that?
Music that's not actually terrible.
Music that has good jams, basically. That's what he's trying to say.
I'm picky on music and stuff, man. And some games they put some weird ass music in there, and it just does not go with the game at all. I don't.
So since we're in
I don't get it.
So since we're in the topic of music and gaming, do you think content creators like streamers, do you think they should be allowed to play music without getting a DMCA or copyright strike and everything?
Oh yeah, man.
Because I mean,
you know, music can kind of, music in the background can actually help your stream. You know, where people are coming in, they hear the music in the background, and you know, while they're listening to the music in the background, they're enjoying your stream at the same time. I think it'd be good, but I don't think it'll ever happen. Too many people.
I was gonna say, you would think that companies like Amazon and things like that, they would actually incorporate that already with so much money that they have, like, you know, coming in and everything. Like they'll be like, hey, let's make a deal with the DMCA corporation and actually say, hey, we actually want to make a deal so we can let streamers be able to, like, you know, showcase, like, you know, music, because I mean, like you said, I mean, music is relaxing and it makes the streams more fun. So, okay. You're a football fan, correct?
Yes, sir.
And from what we researched from you, you're a big Michigan fan when it comes to football.
National champions 2024.
They cheated.
Okay, so have you ever...
No, they did not.
Here comes the question. Have you ever been to a Michigan game?
Not Michigan. I've been to Western Michigan, but it's hard to get to Ann Arbor because them tickets sell fast and they are very expensive. You guys have to understand. For anyone that doesn't know, it's Ann Arbor. The University of Michigan Stadium is the second biggest in the world. It can fit. It's almost. I think its capacity is like 107,000 people. I mean, they want money for that stuff. When it comes to like a Michigan-Ohio game, they're charging extra on that.
Right, man.
Don't worry, I'll make sure we go to one, Viper, and you're sitting right next to me when Ohio State wins.
Oh my Lord!
I've been wearing a Michigan jersey.
That's all okay. You're always the LSU section.
That's a goal of mine, though. I would like to go to Ann Arbor, man. That'd be so cool.
That's actually one dream. Like, you know, I mean, for me, I mean, I already had my dream of going to an LSU Tiger Stadium game. Dude, when you go to like one of those big school college football games, it's out of this world.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Like,
now, understand something, Nightmare. When we beat you guys the first time, I felt the roar of the crowd through my TV, so I could only imagine what that would feel like in person. I mean, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
See, for us, we've beaten you so many times, we're just so used to it.
You just gotta roast the guy, don't you? Damn.
Oh, entirely.
Oh my Lord. All right, we're actually gonna go. We're actually gonna go to our first.
I have a better chance of being a head coach.
We're actually about to hit our halfway mark of the podcast. So, guys, sit tight. We're actually going to go to a small 30-second ad real quick. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys have some questions for Viper because Viper loves to answer all kind of questions. I mean, we have a couple more left for him. And then we're going to ask our what the fuck questions that we always ask our guests here. So, sit tight, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. All right. That was actually our first Shopify commercial, ladies and gents. I know my co-host here was like, man, when we're going to switch from dish detergent? Like, he was just asking so many times.
Look, man, I need clean dishes as much as the next person, but we got to have a little bit of variety.
But anyways, okay. So, I know you play games. We all know, we all play games. We all gamers at heart. But if you could meet a voice actor from the game franchise or a director or a game developer, do you know by any chance who you like to meet? Like, even if they're not here anymore, I mean, of course, like, you know, who would it be?
I'd like to meet the guy behind Price.
Behind what? I'm sorry.
The guy behind Captain Price.
Oh my lord. Damn.
The guy, he's been in it for so long. I think it would be nice, man.
Well, I mean,
there's a lot of good ones, man. There's so many good voice actors that they've had, you know, in the franchise, including the original Modern Warfares and a couple Black Ops that they came out with right after.
I mean, we had the Frank Woods here 2 times already.
Yeah, I've seen that. That
Three
was
times.
incredible.
3
man.
times? That's how many we have? Man, so we're gonna have him. We're gonna have him a 4th time this year, which is crazy. This is gonna be the 4th interview this year that we're gonna be talking to Frank Woods, which is crazy. But the guy,
I'm excited.
The guy that when we interview him, Viper, let me tell you, the guy is a cuckoo. He's a cuckoo and nuthead when it comes to that. So if you're listening, if you're listening to this, James C. Burns, you've been mentioned here on the Reef podcast, brought to you by Reef Productions. But no, he's overall a good guy. He's awesome. We like him. But I'm glad that you like to meet him, meet the voice behind Price, because like you said, he's been around for quite a while, and you always want to meet your favorite voice actors and actresses. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, you know, they thank you for being part of this game, and then like when you meet him and they talk to you in their character, it's like, wow, like, you know, like that's mind blowing. All right, so for me personally, I would love to meet Ray Liotta. Personally, I would love to meet that guy. That guy, I mean, he went through like hell a lot, but my goodness, I would have loved to meet that guy. What about you, Nightmare?
Mine's Satoru Iwata.
Really? Okay. All right. So, do you have any more questions for the guy right here, Mr. Nightmare?
I've got to ask one. We kind of touched on wrestling a little bit. I want your opinion on the Triple H era and the Vince McMahon era. Which do you think is better?
That's a tough one, but I would have to say Triple H. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he's been in the business, you know, since '96 as a wrestler, as a performer, and then, you know, to be able to take the role that he's in now, he understands the business inside and out. He can see what it needs and what it doesn't need. Vince, I don't know. I like the Triple H era, man. And you got all the new talent coming in. Just awesome.
Triple H is just doing something with wrestling that's... he's literally revolutionized wrestling. Like, he's making wrestling fun again. That's what he's doing, and I love that.
Well, and I really enjoyed, like, when WrestleMania 40 first started, that he went out there and he welcomed everyone to WrestleMania. See, now that's the stuff that I like, because it just shows, hey, you know, you got this global phenomenon. I mean, I think that was like their biggest WrestleMania event. And he goes out there, and you know, those guys, they love being out there. I wouldn't be able to do it. I have stage fright, so I don't like being in in front of a whole lot of people, because I feel like I'm being ridiculed and laughed at. So and I don't like that feeling.
So you're saying that if I'm actually a ring announcer and I invite you to a wrestling event, I say, like, you know, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Enforce Viper.
He'd freeze. Entirely he'd freeze.
No. I always have had stage fright. You know, I've had stage fright through high school. It always bothered me. I don't like being judged, man. I am who I am, and
That's good.
If people like me, they like me. If they don't, well, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, I mean, that's when you say you don't like me, there's the door. You can leave.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
But I mean, basically, like, what I was trying to say is, like, Triple H has changed, like, everything. And one thing
He has, man.
One thing that I really enjoyed as well, now that you mentioned him welcoming everybody to WrestleMania on Saturday, I love the fact that he brought his wife on Sunday to welcome everybody for night 2. Because, I mean, it shows, like, he appreciates, like, everybody equally. And that's just amazing. I love that. All right.
Yeah.
So...
And one thing people have to understand is, like, he was forced out of the wrestling side of it. He nearly died. I mean, he was literally hanging on by a thread. It had like a an artery blockage in his heart, and it nearly killed him. And so he had to hang his boots up, unfortunately. But
was it the artery blockage or was it the fluid? Because I know he had like back-to-back things.
There was an artery that was going right up into his heart that was actually blocked. And they were talking about some sort of number that it kept coming down. His number got down to 10. And he was literally like on his deathbed. I don't know how he got past it, but like you asked, man, he's doing good. Wrestling is actually fun to watch again.
Oh yeah,
100%. I mean,
he's got Shawn Michaels, working NXT, so. He's bringing these guys in that he's known for 25 plus years because I don't see him hiring someone if they couldn't do it.
People that basically are, in general, like close to him that actually have, like, a good mentality on how to make wrestling fun. But,
Shawn back in the 90s was not good. I mean, he was going through a rough patch, but Triple H never left his side. Now look. You got Triple H running the whole WWE, and you got Shawn running NXT.
You basically have the two best heads.
Yes, sir.
But what I was gonna say, okay, we're actually gonna try to get a couple of wrestlers on the podcast, on future podcasts, and I already promise you, I'm gonna promise you here live on the air on the Reef podcast that if we ever get Steve Austin here, you better get your ass in this freaking podcast because I would love for him to meet you in person. Because
that would be awesome, dude.
It's gonna happen eventually. I mean, one day, like, we already have like so many amazing people that come here because not only the big people are amazing, but people like you, Viper, that basically, like, are like, still learning the ropes. You're getting coached, like, how to stream and everything. People like you are always important. We always value everybody, even the small time streamers. We actually respect and we love to interview everybody. And I wish I could actually interview everybody in the world, but my phone can only book so many people. Like right now, I kid you not, we're actually booked until 2026.
Holy crap!
Yeah. That's how booked we are. And people are already asking, but I was like, okay, you're going to have to be on my waiting list. I can't tell you the date that you're going to be on, but you have to be on the waiting list for 2026.
Yeah. So these people are coming to you then?
Not just that, but I mean, I'm basically going out there to talk to people. And another thing that we're going to add, do you want to go ahead and let everybody know, Nightmare, the new feature that's going to come here on the podcast?
I'll let you go ahead and do it.
You want me to go ahead and say this?
You can go ahead and do it. We've already talked about it.
So, not only, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing live interviews like we have here with Viper, like, on Twitch and everything, but we're also going to be doing in-person podcast interviews. We're actually going to go out there and actually interview businesses around the states. Like, it could be Louisiana, it could be Texas, who knows? But we're going to be interviewing a bunch of different businesses, which is amazing. And next thing you know, I mean, we might actually show up one day to Viper and be like, hey, let's talk real quick.
I'll have a campfire going.
You have a campfire going. I'll have my tripod and my camera and be like, all right, let's do a one-on-one conversation right now. It's just so many features that we have coming up, and because we're actually coming up on our 5th year anniversary, believe it or not, Piper. Next year is our 5th year in the podcast, which is unreal. I never thought I would actually get this far, But my goodness, I'm thankful for the people that actually have supported this podcast for so long. So thank you, Viper, for being an amazing person and being very supportive of the podcast. We really appreciate you.
You can do anything you set your mind to do, Lewis. All you have to do is you have to stick with it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And you've done that for 5 years, man. As long as if you have it all put together in your mind and you keep shooting forward, nothing's going to stop it.
Dude, I mean, I'm just surprised with how many people are like, especially like, you know, not the big celebrities, but I mean like the decent celebrities like James C. Burns, like all these people. Sure, why not? I'll be on it. I'm like, dude, I'm just a small freaking podcast. I'm not like a huge, like, you know, with a huge following and everything. And literally people accepting to be part of it is just, it's a blessing, bro. It is.
I want to see Adam Sandler on here one of these times.
Oh gosh, I told my co-host here that I think one of the funnest podcasts that I would actually be laughing the whole time would be to interview Jack Black.
Oh yeah, that one too. He's pretty funny.
Dude, literally have him here. I will literally won't stop laughing. I'll be like, please do the Peach song. I just want to hear it. Please, like just do that or do something that, like, you know, that makes you. But
we gotta see if he's still got his saxophone, man.
Oh my lord. But one thing I do want to say is that a really important guest that I'm actually excited that we're actually gonna be interviewing is not 100% confirmed, but he is coming to the podcast soon. Is Tony? What's his name? The guy from Candyman. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Tony something.
What was his name? He was.
I know it's Tony.
Yeah, but Viper, you did you ever watch the Final Destination movies?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember that guy that they would actually go up to him and he would tell him how to cheat death and everything?
The really deep, gravelly voice. He worked in a morgue. He worked in the first one. He was the morgue.
Oh.
The second one, he was the.
I remember now.
Tony Todd.
Yes, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Todd is more than likely gonna be a guest here soon.
That would be phenomenal right there in itself, man.
He literally followed me a couple months back on Twitter, and I'm just like speechless. And whenever I messaged him saying that we would love to interview him, all he did was a thumbs up, and then he said, "Let me see my schedule, and I'll let you know." So the fact that he replied Piper, and he said that, like, that's just crazy. But anyways, okay. So where can people find you on Twitch? Like, you know, like what's the perfect time for Piper to stream nowadays? Because I mean, I know you work a lot, which you do, but I mean, what's like the usual time that you stream at?
I usually Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. I try to do it around noon.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, I try to do it at 10 a.m., but then if I'm working, I have to rush home and do it, and I don't want to do it.
Right.
You know, lately I haven't been streaming as much. I've just been doing random pop-ups because I've been super tired, not wanting to really stream because I'm just wore out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I mean, you always want to do it when you have 100% good energy. Because, I mean, if you're exhausted, you don't want to be like, oh, just fall asleep. Like, literally, like on the middle of the stream. Because that scene that happened
That's
so...
what I did.
Wait.
That's what I did on the last stream. Like, I started playing Diablo, and I was just dozing off. I'm like, you know what? It's time to end it.
So you literally
but
just...
you guys got to understand, like, today is the first day I've had off in 2 weeks.
Damn.
And I know yesterday I didn't work a whole lot, but still, man.
Hey, you're a family man, and we respect that, dude. You always want to put your family first before everything else, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's always important. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get to the what the fuck questions here on the Reef podcast, brought to you by Rio. Rio is an amazing platform that let us actually stream on their website. Shout out to Rio for actually letting us actually bring you the broadcast here live on Twitch and Rio as well. I mean, they've been amazing to us, and we can't wait to actually interview them at the end of in the fall. I would say October, around there, if I'm not mistaken. Nightmare. That's when we're actually gonna be talking to one of the co-owners of Rio. So, without further ado, Nightmare, you take the mic for the first question.
Oh, Viper. We're going to jump right into the deep end here. What's scarier for you? Flying sharks or tigers with the ability to breathe underwater?
Cool.
Did you say flying sharks?
Flying sharks or tigers with the ability to breathe underwater?
Both. If a shark can fly, you ain't safe. If a tiger can swim, you really ain't safe.
Well, tigers can already swim, but with the ability to breathe underwater, they can swim indefinitely.
Nope. Tiger fish.
Really? Tigers? Oh, my Lord. Okay.
All I gotta say to that is, what the fuck?
That's a deep end, man.
All right. So, breathe underwater or be invisible? Keep in mind, if you choose be invisible, you can basically go invisible anytime you want to. Like if you snap your fingers, you go invisible. If you snap it back, you go back.
I'd rather be invisible.
So you can scare the shit out of me? Is that what it is?
Because if you're in deep water and you're just sitting there, oh, hi, waving to all the fish, and a shark comes up and just decides, hey, I'm going to eat you.
Hey, but that might be me. I might actually just shake my fin at you and be like, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
What's that?
All right.
Holy crap.
What you got, Nightmare?
All right. When you go camping, do you prefer in a tent or in like a camper or RV or something like that?
Well, considering the fact that I haven't been camping in like 25 years, I still sleep in a tent.
Shame.
For me, I like just listening to all the natural sounds from the outside, the crickets and the wind and all that, man. I don't want to live in some damn camper where it's got all the AC and crap. I don't want no electronics. I don't want none of that. I'm camping. I want nothing but the nature.
That's awesome. Natural camping actually sounds fun. But I mean, for me, if I see a mosquito, though, I'm running the hell out of there.
Hold on. I got to respond to this because I'm deathly allergic to mosquitoes and I love camping.
Tiki torches.
Exactly. Use citronella candles, tiki
Hey,
torches.
what else
like
is
that.
there?
You'll
You
be
got the
fine.
tiki torches. You have the marigolds. You have bug spray. You have bug zappers. I mean, you could.
They
just
got
bring
those
it all
little
up.
citronella bracelets now and stickers. Like,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of stuff.
All
You
right.
just look like the guy from the Trailer Park Boys.
All right. So here's a new WTF question that Nightmare doesn't know about that we're actually going to discuss here. So, would you rather ride a duck the size of a horse or a whale the size of a mouse? Look at Nightmare. He's like, what?
The whale instantly for me. I don't like ducks.
Well, personally, I wouldn't want to see the duck the size of a horse, and I don't think I want to see the whale the size of a mouse. Do you realize what would happen if one duck mated with another duck that was that big?
What? They will make quacksters.
Yeah.
All right,
Man would bring ducks into this, wouldn't he?
I had to. I had to bring the duck question, man. I'm sorry. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
All right. So, pizza or wings? Which one are you going to first?
Pizza.
All
And I
right.
have a few different reasons for that. You know, first and foremost, there's not a whole lot of meat on wings anyway. I usually only get chicken wings from like bars and stuff like that, and every time I go and get chicken wings, they just don't do it right, and I get food poisoning.
Phew.
Last time I got food poisoning, I actually felt it hit my stomach sideways. I knew what kind of a night it was going to be, and it was just terrible.
Damn. All right. So, zombie apocalypse or AI taking over? Like, which one would you rather live on?
If I wanted a bunch of robots to take over, shit, man, you might as well just call me a zombie.
That's another new one
No.
that my co-host here is like, whoa, that's a new one. All
I
right.
think I'd rather deal with a zombie apocalypse over a bunch of robots.
Okay, so I have a follow-up to that. If you're the last person that's left to get infected, and I mean, this is actually as serious, but I mean, not much of a WTF, but I mean, like, let's say I become zombified. Like, I start slowly becoming zombified. I tell you, like, you know, hey, if I fully turn, you need to do me a favor.
I'm going to get in the helicopter and I'm going to leave you behind.
All right. So, all right, what you got, Nightmare?
You.
All right. Which movie animated or not animated automaton would you rather fight? A Terminator or a Transformer?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Terminator.
Damn. Okay.
I am 6.5 foot tall, and I would be the size of Transformers poop.
Damn.
At least if I'm going to get my butt kicked, it's going to be by someone that's my height.
Well, you have any weapons at your disposal for it, so I mean, I'd take the Transformer. The Transformer's going to be harder to get into places.
I just snap my finger and go invisible.
Yeah, just do the finger snap. All right. So I got two more WTF questions, and this one is Nightmare's all-time favorite. Like, he always tries.
I don't have snacks.
Yeah, he doesn't have snacks, but he does have his amazing coffee mug that he was showing off a lot because he's drinking. I don't know what he's drinking, but he's always drinking tea or coffee or something.
White tea this time.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, all right.
Can't wait to get my cup.
All right. So, are you a cereal person?
No. Honestly, I should eat breakfast, but I don't.
Okay, but I'm saying,
did
you ever eat cereal like your whole life or no?
Yeah, I did when I was younger, but when I got into the working world, I mean.
All right, so I can ask the question. Do you pour your cereal first and then the milk, or the milk first and then the cereal?
I pour the cereal first. Common sense.
Well, you're talking to somebody that literally puts the milk first and then the cereal. I love how my co-host is like, here you go.
There you go. Have it.
Yep.
Well, what's the point of that? Keep your milk clean?
Dude, we just love seeing reactions from people when we say that. But
well, he's been called an abomination. He's been called a monster.
But
a psychopath by a couple people.
I was eating shredded wheat once, and my mom used to always tell me that we don't have no milk, use water. Mm-hmm. One day, my dumb ass decided to use water, and I found out the hard way that it's a dumb decision and don't do
it. So you're saying that's a dumb decision?
Just don't eat the cereal.
Don't eat the cereal.
All right. Final question that I have before Nightmare asks his final questions too, because how many do you have left, Nightmare?
Well, hold on. I gotta read the comment from the chat so everybody hears this. Whoever does milk first then cereal, they are psychopaths.
Well,
and I fully agree.
All right. So, how many questions do you have left, Nightmare? One more? I think I have one more.
I got one more.
Okay.
I've got one more.
All right. I'll let you ask yours, and then we'll ask the final question that always I love seeing what people decide with this. So, go ahead.
All right. So, which ability would you rather have? Knowing when you would die or knowing how you would die?
Ooh.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't want to know how I die. And I'll tell you right now, I have days where I think about that type of shit, and I don't like it. Yeah. I don't know, man.
That's the ultimate question right there. Which one would you rather have? Know the date and time, or how?
Mm-hmm.
When it happens, it happens. I have a lot of stuff going on in life. I don't have time to pay attention to that. I cherish my life.
All right. Final question here on the Reef podcast. Brought to you by Reef Productions. All right. So, all right. So, you're in the forest.
This guy.
You're in the forest, and you have no weapons. You have nothing. All you have is like, your normal clothes. You're lost basically, like, and you're trying to find your way home, and you see a path on the distance that extends into two branches. One path, if you go, you face a one bear-sized goose. Okay? If you go to the right path, you face 100 goose-sized bears. What would you choose?
I'd go back the way I came in on.
Well, I guess I'm staying in the woods.
No way. No. Not if I ain't got a weapon.
So you wouldn't fight. So you wouldn't fight one bear-sized goose with your fists.
Bear-sized goose.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. To explain this, because I can explain his answer for this, we deal with Canadian geese, and
they do not like humans.
He just basically said it straight
a
up.
normal-sized goose is already bad enough. A bear size?
Yeah. Bro, they hiss at you for their warning, and if you don't heed it, they come after you. A bear-sized goose? No, me out.
Now, let me let you know a little something that a guest here said a while back on the podcast when we actually asked that question. This guest apparently said that if you point a green laser pointer at the geese's feet, it intimidates them and they will go the other way.
Let me go buy one. I'll tell you how it is.
Look, I have one. I haven't found any geese nearby yet. I don't know if they're just like in the trees or what. But anytime I go over where I go fishing, there's none there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Put it back.
Oh my goodness! All right, so final thoughts on the podcast, Piper. Like any people that you want to give a shout out to, or any Discords that you want to give shout outs to. Now is the time to do it.
I appreciate anyone that came over and supported me. You guys know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I do make a lot of posts when I first found out that I was going to be here, saying, "Hey, come check me out." And I feel like I'm bigger than what I really am, and it's because of the people that I surround myself with on here.
Absolutely.
I'm not intentionally trying to be a big streamer or nothing like that. My family comes first over everything, and if someone had a problem with that, I would put them in their place. But you guys, it's nice, man. It's nice because you can find people on here that can help you with certain things that your family can't help you with.
Well, just know that for me and my co-host here and the entire Reef Productions Discord, we really appreciate you and we care for you like family, dude. We're basically your second family.
I got a little WTF quote for the chat.
All right, go for it.
5 years ago, like he said, he mentioned that I met him in Anima 316. He kept posting in there every day, every single day, the same time, every day. Ding, 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 and at one point it was an irritation, and I'm like, okay, he's obviously someone big because he keeps posting every day, or he's trying to become big enough. I finally got to go there to check him out, and let me tell you guys something. I was happy that I did. Because fast forward 4 years later, here I am.
Being a guest here. I love how he's looking straight at the camera. That's just golden right now. Oh, shit. You saw his eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here has been Enforced Piper. Go ahead and check him out on Twitch.
Babish wannabe.
Hey, this time he actually has a little bit of hair that grew. I mean, he actually has hair, unlike somebody down there that does not.
Hey, I got a little bit right now.
I'm too lazy to.
It'll be gone in about 3 days.
But I personally want to thank everybody that came out to the Reef podcast, brought to you by Reef Productions, live on Rio and Twitch. Later be actually available for iHeart Radio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite platforms. And very soon, we're actually going to be announcing a major major announcement of a new station where we're gonna be at. Nobody knows except me and my co-host here, but I'm telling you guys, that's gonna revolutionize the podcast, and we're actually gonna bring back Viper, and we're gonna bring back a lot of guests to be part of it again once we actually go air on this specific platform that we have set up. But nobody knows. So thank you for watching today, guys. I'm Lewis IPA. Any final thoughts, Nightmare Rising?
Just hope everybody has a good weekend. I know next weekend is Father's Day, so I hope everybody out there enjoys it. Viper, you
Happy
as well.
Father's Day.
Have a good start to your guys' week, and if you have a good start to your week, it'll be a better start in Father's Day, man.
And
for all the fathers out there, amen, man. I really hope you love it as much as I do.
And also, I want to also address to all the single mothers out there that have to be fathers as well. Happy Father's Day out there for them. Because some mothers out there have to play the role of both. And also there's fathers that basically are without mothers. We care about y'all. Happy Father's Day to everybody on behalf of the Reef Podcast. Y'all have a good night. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. We have an amazing group of people coming. They're called the Spidey Team. We'll see them soon, guys. Take it easy. As always, today's episode of the Reef Podcast was streamed live on Twitch. If you could not make it to the live stream of the podcast, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeart Radio. Thanks for listening. See you next time.